Yo, how we sounding? We good?
I hear you get me.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we back at it. Let's get to it,
We
man.
good. We good now. What is talking about chat? What's happening?
It is, man. Let's get to it.
Okay, Newski.
It is.
What's up, my brother?
What's up, baby? Back
All
in
right, let's
business.
from the top, man, from the jump.
Come on, let's get to it.
It's T Stead. I'm here with my brother Jonnu Smith. New just coming off of a career year, first Pro Bowl selection. Was a complete monster in the Dolphins uniform last year. Was the MVP, offensive MVP, no question. My dog was balling outrageous. That brings us to what happened just two days ago. Jonnu Smith and Jaylen Ramsey, with the seventh round pick, was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers for Minka Fitzpatrick and a fifth round pick. Jonnu, how are you feeling about the trade?
Feeling, bro, I'm in a situation where I am appreciated. And you being a 12-year vet, you know what I mean? And as much as success as you had and your familiarity with how this business works, you know that, you always want to be where you're most valued and appreciated. And that's a situation that I found myself in with Pittsburgh. So I'm excited, bro. Obviously, I didn't foresee this happening with how the season went for me individually. Obviously, I had aspirations of, ending my career in Miami with it basically being home for me and my children, my family. But I understand the business side of it and it didn't work out. I'm grateful. I got no ill feelings towards Miami or nobody in the organization. You know what I mean? Um, I can't sit here and lie and say that it didn't sting when the process was playing itself out. And we'll get more in depth into that, you know what I'm saying? But all in all, bro, I'm great. I'm blessed. I'm a Stiller. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing for one of the most historic sports franchises in the history of sports. You know what I'm saying? And under a great head coach with Mike T. Back with my guy Arthur Smith, who I've had a lot of success with throughout
Mhm.
my career. And so I'm extremely blessed, bro. I couldn't be more excited.
Okay, no, I love it, man. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you for sure. What what led up to this? What was those conversations? You don't got to go into too much detail. You don't have to talk finances. We don't have to talk, anything personal. But what was those conversations like? When did it start? Where Jonnu Smith would potentially be leaving Miami?
Let me get into it for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? We that's what we're here for. We waited all, we
Sure.
went through all that production stuff just to get through here. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I'll start with, the beginning, man. You know, Obviously, me coming to Miami was a decision that was obviously a great dynamic for my family, but it was a good situation for my career.
Hmm.
Um, you know, with all of the pieces that Miami had already had in place, after the year that they had in 23, the only missing piece, or a few missing pieces, but one of the missing pieces was, that, receiving threat at the tight end position. And I feel like it was a perfect spot for me. The familiarity with that offensive scheme for me was what I've basically been in my whole football career in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So that was definitely the decision for me was easy. I actually didn't even head right into free agency. I signed with Miami a couple of days before free agency.
Hmm.
And so I knew that, I would find myself in a position how I did after, this year, like how I did at the end of this year. So we go through the year, bro, and obviously as a team, it was a disappointment.
Yeah.
And that does play a factor in a lot of decision making after the season. But for me, I felt that I was in a position, and I thought that I was one of the key ingredients to helping this team succeed. And after the season ended, me and my agent, we like this is a no brainer. Like we'll be here forever. You know what I mean? Just just who I,
I thought
just
so.
how, yeah, just this is this is in January. You know what I'm saying? And I'm setting up shop. I'm buying a bigger place for me and my family, and you know what I'm saying. And I'm just going through all of the it's a lot of things uh positive that's working for me individually. after the season for me to be here in Miami long term, just even life after football, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so, you know, we started this conversation in January with Miami. And obviously, kind of give me the runaround and we'll get back to it and we'll get back to it. And, obviously they had some things the issues that they had to address. And I understand that. And I was patient with them throughout the whole entire process. And, eventually it came a point in time when they told me that they just can't do it. And they, wasn't, economically able to put me in a position to be paid like a Pro Bowl tight end. And that one stung, you know what I mean? That one stung. And I, tried to figure it out and we just couldn't. And that's when, I had to listen, T-Star, dog, like we love this game so much. It's the game that we played since we were 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. And
Facts.
we work hard, we grind, we do everything we can do to put ourselves in a position to play the game that we love, be a world champion, and with that, obviously, you have individual success come, but we have an opportunity to change the whole dynamic of our families. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? And we come from places, bro, that, you know, is very humble. You know what I'm saying? And when you got that opportunity to capitalize, you have to do it. You know what I mean? So it was a tough decision for me because having to be uh having a love and a passion for the game and being around the guys and building a rapport that I had with the locker room and with Tua and all of that. And also having to balance the business side of it was tough for me. And
Yeah.
so I had to make the decision to say, man, well, I got to go where, I am appreciated and, viewed on paper, you know what I mean, economically, contract wise, as a top guy in this league, which I know I am. And Pittsburgh was the team that saw me as that. And so, going through that process, it was hurting. You know what I mean? I couldn't figure out why I didn't think that, you know, collectively as an organization, players, coaches, I didn't think that, trading Jonnu Smith, that's where our success starts. You know what I'm saying? I didn't,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how I looked at the situation. Like I didn't think that, you know, listen, our success starts with trading Jonnu Smith. I'm a competitor, bro. You know what I mean? So that part of me stung. You know what I'm saying? We you know how hard we grind for this thing, man. And but at the end of the day, I got, Miami also, I look at it this way. Miami could have been, sour about the situation and said, no, we're not trading you. We
Right.
got rights to your
Right.
contract. I also look at it that way and not giving me the opportunity to make another dime. And so I had mixed feelings about it, both. So at the end of the day, I had to put, my personal issues aside because I understand that this is a business. It's just a game that we so happen to love. And, and now I'm here. I'm still a dog.
How hard is that, new? How hard is that to you try to take both perspectives. You try to see it from both sides. Your side from production, from what you know you can do, what you prove to the world that you can do, and then on the other side, you try to see from their point of view of we do own your rights. We have you under contract. You know what I mean? How hard is it to not take it personal that y'all should lock me up long term. It shouldn't even be a discussion. And then even to give grace when they're like, all right, y'all didn't have to let me go either though. You know what I mean? How hard is it to have that balancing act between personal and business?
Bro, it was extremely hard, bro. You got to understand, like, like, as I said earlier, this conversation with Miami started in January. You know what I mean? Maybe a
Yeah.
couple of weeks after the season ended, after New York, you know what I mean? And this conversation started. And, just, uh, I figured, obviously you kind of know what we had some locker room issues, you know what I mean? And obviously everybody, not only from within the organization, but even from the outside looking in, would say, yo, I'm sure they want to bring some high character guys, you know what I mean, in there and keep them guys around and help with the leadership um side of things. And that's who I've been my whole career, dog. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I've been a guy who's been there for my teammates, been respectful to everybody in the building, been active in the community, you know what I'm saying? And just always was for the team. Was willing to always do anything for the team. So I didn't foresee this happening, you know what I'm saying? And that's why it was a little shocking for me.
Yeah.
I'm a man of faith, dog. So during this whole process, it was frustrating. As frustrating as it was, man, my whole prayer was, God, had me. where you want me and not where I want me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was,
Real.
kind of fighting. It was like it almost felt like I always use this analogy, when I'm talking to people about this situation. It was like a marriage, right? It was like, two spouses, you know what I mean? One spouse is trying to stay with the other spouse and the other spouse is trying to walk away. And you're like, wow, like we got something good going on. And,
Right.
it was like a divorce that kind of came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And so I wrestled with that for a while, bro. You know what I'm saying? Um, I just didn't think that, like I said, I didn't think that the success with the Miami Dolphins started with trading me.
Yeah.
And but now that I've, like, once I seen the situation getting closer to it happening and I seen the moves that Pittsburgh was making, I was going back with my guy Arthur Smith, and it was all of the things just start aligning, all of the stars just start aligning, you know what I mean? And I was appreciated at the table, and we got it done, man.
No, you said that word now a few times. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. You said that
Mhm.
word. And it's such a strong word too, because it's so much meaning that goes into being appreciated or know that you feel appreciated. And in the same vein, you have given your appreciation to Miami Dolphins and that organization bringing you in the year that you had and we had as an offense. But as you exit, and I know you said it's no bad blood, but we see our brother Raheem Mostert, right? He had put out a tweet, and we know him. Him is the most passionate,
Yeah,
the most
yeah.
like blunt,
He ain't gonna tell
direct,
you how it is. Yeah,
and see how he feel.
he gonna speak his heart. You know what I'm
So on
saying?
his comments, he said, "Hot take: be a Pro Bowler on the Dolphins, get treated like shit. Happy for you guys though. Go ball out." What's your comments on Raheem's comments on Twitter?
First off, he ain't my boy, man. Shout out to
For
him.
sure.
You know what I'm
My
saying?
dog.
That's
Love
my
you,
boy,
boy.
100%. Love him
Love
to
you,
death.
boy.
He know that. You know what I'm saying? Man, I can empathize with him now. You know what I mean? Because of, his. I mean, I believe the year before, man, he was like 20 plus touchdowns, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
was a part of that team. And, y'all, I wasn't even there, you know what I mean? And, y'all had won 13-4. He was, him and A-Chain was a two-headed monster, you know what I'm saying? And, it was, it's funny. I had, kind of, it was support, you know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
support. I ain't gonna hold you because it's like, that's how I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's how I'm feeling, bro. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I just didn't understand that. And the only Pro Bowler, you know what I mean? Like the only Pro
Yeah.
Bowler where it was a year when I felt like, we had sure Pro Bowlers on that team, and we just didn't get that respect. And our record spoke to that. You know what I'm saying? Us going, it's tough to get the fans behind you, man, when you underachieve. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But however, man, like Zach Siller missing a Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that was, things like, that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But me being the only Pro Bowler, uh, on the team, just didn't see myself in this situation, bro. And he definitely was one of the emotions that I felt, out loud vocally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely understand. And like I said, he was in that situation. Obviously, he got released from Miami. Um, and bro, this game mean a lot to us. And people just like, man, y'all making millions of dollars. Why do y'all care?
It's
Bro,
deeper than
it's way deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all not out there. Y'all like, man, it's whatever. It's just a business. You know what I mean, bro? We the one that's playing hurt for these organizations. We the ones that's sacrificing time with our family for these organizations. We are the ones that's, you know, having our bodies change for the rest of our lives for these organizations. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, and putting our bodies on the line every single Sunday, bro, is such a dangerous game. You know what I'm saying? And it's more than, you can't put a dollar on somebody's body. You can't put a price tag on somebody's body, on somebody's mental. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's
Um,
a fact.
and-
And we saw him and the challenges he like how challenging last year was for him. We saw it up close.
yeah, yeah,
And for somebody that like Raheem that's so passionate and got so much love for the game, his tweet, bro, in response to the trade that happened was pain for real. Like he Heem is hurt by his departure
Yeah,
from Miami and the way that his career ended in Miami. Like that's
yeah,
what that's coming from. I can talk to him right now. He'll tell you how much he appreciates the Miami Dolphins and his stint there, his tenure
for sure.
in Miami. Like he would tell you how much he appreciated the coaching staff, the training room, the locker room, everything. You know what I mean? But that tweet he put out is that's painful. And like you say, it took you a while to battle with that personal and to see the business and see the other perspective. It's tough, man. It's tough when
Eh,
you like literally love something deeper than anything else. It's like
Yeah,
it's hard to battle, man. It's hard to not speak
and
out on certain things, you know?
oh, absolutely, bro. And is another thing, bro. Like right now, I'm looking at your background, and I see two helmets,
Yeah.
and what that a lot of people may say, or how they may view it how they view it, but as a guy that's played in this league and know how this league goes, you played 12 years and you've been on two teams. Um, there's a lot of respect, there's a lot of reverence to that, bro. And that's the testament to who you are as a player. I know, and everybody know, bro. You one of the best to do it. I'm waiting for your gold jacket. I'm trying to be there. You know what I'm saying,
Appreciate
bro?
you, brother.
You know what I'm saying, bro? But that always that could also tell a different story. So in my situation, this is my 15. You know what I mean? And that was uh that was frustrating to me too. You know what I'm saying? Because uh my let me get a little bit about let me give you a little rundown about my journey in the league,
Oh,
bro.
talk to me.
So
Talk
I
to me.
get drafted, to Tennessee. And I come basically under Delaney Walker, who's, you know what I mean, to me,
Yep.
one of the he was one of the guys that was one of those tight ends, bro, that was like taking that catch and run to another level. You know what I'm saying? Like that run after catch, he was taking that to another level. You know what I'm saying? And I always model my game after his. And he was the OG. I think when I got drafted, Delaney was I'm like 21, he 33. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of knowledge and wisdom that he had for me. And coming under Delaney, and Arthur Smith was my tight ends coach at the time. And my first year, just figuring it out, bro. Rookie, you know what I'm saying? Just get, you know
Hmm.
what I mean, figuring it out, not knowing my left from my right. Um, and just head down, working hard here, just trying to soak up as much knowledge as I can. And going into my second year, Delaney gets injured, and so I played more. And my first couple of games starting, it was a little rough. You know what I'm saying? It was a little rough. Um, but as the games went on, I started
Yep.
getting more comfortable, started making more plays, and started getting a little hot. And unfortunately, had a went down. I know you probably don't remember. You might remember Derrick Henry 99-yard run.
Hmm.
That was like one of the greatest plays in NFL history
Right.
against Jacksonville. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We playing Jacksonville, and Derrick Henry goes down. I think this was on a Thursday night or Sunday
Down on that
night.
sideline.
Um, yeah, down on that sideline on that play, bro. I went down with a torn ACL. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So yeah, I
yeah.
went down on a torn ACL. So that set me down for the rest of the season. So now Delaney's hurt and I'm hurt. So the rest of the season we carve out. We missed the playoffs. Going to my third year, me and Delaney both rehabbing together. He's rehabbing from a broken ankle. I'm rehabbing from ACL. We both start week one. His ankle was kind of not. It didn't really hold up as much. So his first couple of games was a little rough for him. And so he, made a decision, and man, like I gotta go on IR. You know what I mean? I don't want to put no bad film out there as highly as he was respected and highly touted as,
Yeah.
the player that he was. He was like, man, I just can't do it. You know what I mean? And he made the decision that he felt was best for himself and went on IR. And I took over again my third year, and that's when I caught fire. Now Arthur Smith is the OC at this time, and I'm getting real comfortable, and I'm making plays out of the backfield, and just you know basically proving myself to be a number one guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
And the season ends. We go to the eight. Well, I don't want to say that, but we make it all the way to the AFC Championship. We had like a 10-point lead, crazy story. But anyway, we
Yeah. I
lose to the
remember.
Chiefs, and we lose to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. And going into year four, they wound up releasing Delaney. And now I'm the guy. I got it all the way. You know what I mean? And I have a good for my last year on my rookie contract. I have a good year, and I'm heading into free agency, and I set myself up for a lot of success, bro. And I strike. You know what I mean? And I signed the most guaranteed money in tight end history that year, and I went to New England.
Yeah, man.
Now,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I get to New England, man, and the New England thing for me, you know what I mean, was another it was instrumental for me because although it didn't work out, it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. I matured as a man, I matured as a person. I realized the things that was important to me in life, the things that really mattered to me in life, man, because New England, it just didn't work out. You know what I mean? For
yeah,
whatever reason, I'm not blaming any side. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? And again, I got respect for the New England. They came and showed me respect and paid me the highest. You know what I mean? Tight end in history and guaranteed money of all time at the time. You know what I'm saying? I got nothing but respect for that organization. But it just didn't work out. And that year, right? I had the opportunity. That year, don't have a good first year with New England. Don't have a good second year in New England. I had signed a 4-year deal, and after my second year, you know, obviously they wanted to make some adjustments to my deal. So, after circling and talking with my agent, I knew it was best for me to get out of there, and I told him, I was like, it's time to move on. It's time for me to get a new start. And Arthur Smith was the head coach in Atlanta at the time,
man. You and Arthur Smith
and
been together.
Lincoln,
God
Lincoln.
damn.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
tell
I
you,
know,
man.
for
He was
real.
the head coach in Atlanta at the time, bro. So he comes and get me from New England. And I could have stayed in New England, you know what I mean? And it wasn't even about, the money. I just wanted to be in a good situation. And
Hmm.
so I leave New England after 2 years in New England and I head to Atlanta. And I have a good year, bro. You know what I'm saying? We basically primarily 12 personnel, and it's me and Kyle Pitts. And I caught about 50 balls that year, just under 600 yards and 3 tubs. And it was, we primarily 12 personnel, so it was two tight end ones on the field. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And that year, Arthur Smith gets fired. And Raheem Morris came in, and I got nothing but respect for him. But the first thing I did, bro, was I said to myself, I do not want to be in a situation like I was in New England. And flew to Atlanta. Right after the season ended, I flew back to. I went home, came home to Miami. Right when Raheem got hired, I flew back up there, bro. I had nothing but a book bag on my back. I had my flight booked like a couple hours after the meeting with Raheem and Terry Fontenot, the GM. And I told him, and I sat down. I said, "Man, congrats. I hear nothing but great things about you. I want to be here. I want to play for you. However, there's certain things that I have to do that's best for me and my family." And I told him, if you don't see me as playing me in a role as Arthur Smith did or more, you know what I mean, just show me the respect and let me go. You know what I mean? Mind you, I'm coming off a good season.
Real.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
You know what I'm
real.
saying? And I was like, but just do it before free agency or before the draft. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And well, I said just do it before free agency, and draft already happened, I believe. But I'm like, just do it before free agency, so that teams can know I'm available. And so man, I told Terry Fontenot, GM, I told him the same thing, and they, I was like, man, just show me that same respect that I showed to the
shout out
organization. I
Terry.
don't want,
Shout out Terry
yeah,
Fontenot. That's
yeah,
his
yeah,
bro.
yeah, 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 good dude, man, good dude, good dude, and and I said, bro, just I don't want to be in that situation. I know, that they had drafted Kyle Pitts a few years before that, fourth overall, and I know they wanted to, continue to see him succeed
Yep.
and a new how the business go and a new and Kyle, my boy, shout out to Kyle, that's my guy, you know what I'm saying, Philly. And he came and Terry, Terry, about a couple days later, man, called me and was like, Janu, we understand you put yourself in a good position and we don't want you to, we don't want to be, we want to be candid with you, want to be transparent with you. And we are going to make some changes to the offense.
It's real.
And
Real.
I said, Terry, I appreciate you, bro. Like I
Yeah.
appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? And I either way, I asked for this. You know what I'm saying? I asked for this. You know what I mean? They didn't come to me. You know what I mean? I asked for this,
Right.
and and they went ahead and released me. And that's when Miami was like the
Right.
perfect fit. You know what I'm
That's
saying? Miami was the perfect fit, bro. And again, I didn't even wait till free agency. Like, as soon as Miami came around, economically, I felt like, I could have made more money, but it wasn't even about the money at the time. I had already made good money, man. And I was just like, I just need to be in a good situation and prove to the world, to myself, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, who I am, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And not necessarily, you know what I mean, just being in that position of getting to where I was at this past season.
And you did it.
And
You
I
did
did
it.
it, bro. You know
Did
what I
it from
mean? But
the highest level.
from if you look at the story, you like, oh, this guy got so much, this guy been bounced around, you know what I mean? And it's you could look at it that way, but you know, to me, that's not the case at all. I made a post earlier about controlling your own narrative. I've controlled my own narrative. I could have I left Tennessee and became the highest paid tight end in history, guaranteed money wise of all time, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, left Tennessee, go to New England. I could have stayed in New England. I wanted to be traded, and I got traded. I uh, get to Atlanta and seeing how the situation was going, and I asked to be released. I get to Miami, could have stayed in Miami, obviously,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to be, appreciated. We use this word appreciate. I just wanted to be appreciated, and
Yeah.
so that didn't happen. And now I wound up, and now I'm here in Pittsburgh, which I'm extremely grateful for, and I'm excited. I couldn't be more excited for the opportunity. And so
I'm
that
excited
part of
for
it,
you, man.
bro, bouncing, that part of me is what I had to realize was that I'm controlling my own narrative. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody writing me off or stripping me off like, oh, we done with him. You know how the conversation is. Listen, man, we love
Yeah.
everything you did for us, but we're gonna let you go. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't the case with my situation at all. I've controlled my own narrative, and I'm standing on that. You know what I'm saying?
When you're a baller, you can do that, man. When you really go out there, show and prove every time you step on the field, you can do that. You have leverage, you have privilege to do that because you are what you who you are and what you bring to the table and what you bring to the locker room, what you bring as a leader. You know what I mean? That's why you can
Appreciate that, bro.
dictate your own destiny. Um, I probably got a couple more for you because I am hosting nightcap again
Go,
tonight.
go do, hey, go do your thing, homie. Go do your
No, we
thing.
ain't we ain't done. I got a couple more.
I got you.
You
Let's
know,
get to it.
let's make them nice and easy. So you get traded to Pittsburgh, but you're not going by yourself. You're going with another dog,
For sure.
my dog, Jaylen Ramsey. Have you talked to Ramsey yet?
I talked around. Me and J Ram chopped it up before this happened. You know what I
Mm,
mean? We chopped it up before this happened. He obviously knew, the situation that he was in Miami, and felt that it was time for him to move on. And we chopped it up one on one about what potentially could be. You know what I mean? As rumors was floating around. Um, and we like, bro, if this thing really go down, this thing really happening, like Pittsburgh is a team that's historically gonna always be in the dance. You know what I'm saying? It's just maybe a couple of missing pieces like us,
yeah,
that can fill that void, you know what I'm saying, and get over that hump. And one thing that we both admired about the situation was culture. The culture that Mike T established, you know what I'm saying, who,
yeah.
I can't
Can't
wait to play
can't
for.
argue with it. Can't deny
Yeah.
Mike T's culture. What they have, that environment over there. They win. They know how to win. He's never had a losing season, so you cannot
Mhm.
argue Pittsburgh Steelers culture at all.
For sure, for sure. And so I know what he brings to the table. I know he know what I'm gonna bring, you know what I mean? And we guys that love football and want to win, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I know you asked the question earlier, fans who y'all think won this trade, you know what I mean? But obviously I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that because you know who I know won. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. When I say the Dolphins won, to me is because a lot of times when you see a player that's not going to play for you, like the world knows that this player is not going to play for your organization. Teams use that as such a bidding, like it's so much leverage for other teams because like this dude not going to play for y'all anyway. So you
Yeah,
got to let him
not
go.
for
You know what
sure.
I mean? So to be able to
Mhm.
to try to get back a great player, you know what I mean? I think that the Dolphins was able to do what nobody expected them to do. But Pittsburgh got way better, like no question about it. I think Chris was able to at the very least like to get Minka Fitzpatrick to come back. I think that was a win on his part.
No, for sure. Listen, man, again, from the business side of it, you got a high value, high elite player in Jalen Ramsey, who, like you said, alluded to, it just wasn't going to work out. You know what I mean? And they needed to move on, and that's a high price tag.
Yeah,
And to get a team to buy into that, to agree with that is tough. But at the end of the day, it's Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
he on his way
And
to a
Jonnu
gold
Smith,
jacket.
too
You know
tall,
that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm just was alluding to the J Ram situation because you're talking about a player
Hall of Famer,
yeah,
Hall of
you're
Famer.
right, and didn't want to beat. See, me and J Ram situation was different in a sense that he didn't want to play for them. I wanted to play for them. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was for Greer, like obviously tough decision. I know me and Greer talk, and I know that he wanted this to work out, but he had to do what he had to do, and I understand that. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I put it to bed. Can't cry over spilled milk.
For sure.
So it's for J Ram. You know, they both want, like you said, he got to a place where he wanted to be, and he didn't want to
Yep.
be there, and wasn't gonna play for them. And you know finding a guy for that high price tag is tough. So
About
they
to be
won. They
stupid
won.
too. Five about to
Oh
be
yeah.
so stupid,
Oh
bro.
yeah. Oh yeah, bro.
So
Mike
stupid.
T
You don't,
and
y'all
his
don't look.
defense, he the Pittsburgh defense is historically, bro, if
Yeah.
you just look on paper over the years, bro, the best defense in football.
Nah, they
So
about to go crazy. All right, I got two real lighthearted questions for you. As I'm starting my show, bro, I don't want my show to just be like any other sports show. So this is not another sports show. I want to get a chance to ask further, like as we get more time, if we ever do this again, I want to get a chance to
yeah,
ask more personal questions, personality, like your family, all that. You know what I mean?
for
Not just
sure,
talk
for
ball.
sure.
But before I go, because I think I got to go host nightcap. Um, I got two would you rather questions for you.
Yeah,
Would you rather block a DN 1-on-1, 3rd and 7? It's the last play of the game for game. 3rd and 7, 1-on-1 against a DN, or 3rd and 7 versus double coverage. First down wins the game. We get the first down, we take a knee, game over. So, would you rather 1-on-1 block 3rd and 7 for game, or against double coverage 3rd and 7 for the first down win the game?
see, I could be selfish and say I want the ball in my hands. You know what I'm saying? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
What we
I'm gonna
doing?
say
What we
this.
doing?
Who I'm gonna say this. Who was the DN?
Well, I can't give you that. It's just you don't know. You feel me? But it's 1-on-1, 3rd and 7. So you got to hold up a little bit, or it's double coverage. You got to
or
really,
or was double coverage? Listen, dog. With A Rod, he gonna put it where it need to be.
I got you.
Give me that rock. You know what I'm saying? Give
I
me that
got
rock. He known for making tight
Okay.
throws, dog. You know what I'm saying? Give me that rock, man. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
All
So
right. I got one more
that
for you.
yeah,
I got one more for you. Not football related.
yeah,
Would you rather say everything that come to your mind out loud, no matter what it is, no matter where you are,
yeah.
you have to say it out loud, or never speak again?
Ooh, man. I like it, but honestly, dog, I like to consider myself a guy that got good intentions. So, I think about all of the people, you know what I'm saying?
No, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm
Listen,
listening.
listen. I might
I'm
get in
listening.
trouble. I might get in trouble with a couple of things, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? But like, I got to use my voice. God gave me my voice, baby. I got to have this. You know what I'm saying? So I got to speak everything that's on my mind. I'm a realist anyway. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Just know, like it can be, it can pop up in your head. It could be something wild, bro.
Nah,
Something
because
wild,
like bro, as humans, bro, it be stuff popping our head. You're like, where did that come from? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right?
you know what I'm
But
saying? You be like, bro,
you gonna say it out loud though.
damn.
You gonna say it out loud. So just you at church, you sitting at church with your family. You got the wife and the kids right there. The
Bro,
pastor say something. He make a little joke. You don't find it funny, and you just out loud. Man, sit your dumb ass down. You gonna do that, bro? In the middle of church? If it's
Bro,
music, I'm not talking again. I'm not talking no more.
bro. I think, bro, I got, but you got to understand, bro. Like, I got, bro. Our voices, bro. That's how we, you know what I'm saying? That's how we do
That's
it,
true.
bro. Listen,
I gotta write it down, bro. I'm gonna have to write
you gonna have to write it down. Let them know, like, you got to communicate like that, bro. Damn. You know what I mean? We never know, dog. You might be president one day. You feel me? You might have that opportunity. You might, you know what I'm saying? Anything can happen, dog. Like,
I feel you. I feel
you know what I'm
I
saying,
feel
bro?
you.
I got to use my voice. I'm rolling the dice. I'm rolling the
Hey,
dice, T. I'm rolling the
that's
dice.
risky, brother. That's risky.
I'm rolling the dice, dog. That's tough, though. That's
I
tough.
know your wife done said something to you and you wanted to
That's what I
respond and
said. That's
didn't
why I
say
said I'm gonna get
nothing
in trouble. That's why I
and
said I'm gonna
right.
get in
Yeah.
trouble. She gonna have to know. Look, I'm gonna tell her, listen, babe, I'm gonna say everything that's on my mind. I love you. I'm keeping
Yeah,
my
yeah,
voice
yeah,
for you. You know what I'm saying? But just
yeah.
don't take this personal. You know what I mean? But I just gotta say everything that's on my mind. It's people
No,
that is just like that anyway, bro. You
that's
know
a
what I'm
fact.
saying?
Oh,
You know what I'm
old people.
saying?
No,
Man, they gonna say anything,
grandparents.
bro. I know a couple of them, my grandma for sure. She ain't holding nothing in.
No
She
lie.
letting you have it.
No
She
lie.
letting you have it, dog. So I got to say everything that's on my mind. I can't keep quiet, dog.
No, I feel that. I feel that. Newski,
My boy,
I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so
love
much for being
always,
my
homie.
first show, man. My first show on my
Hey,
new
dog.
YouTube, new podcast, bro. I appreciate it.
Make sure
Jonnu
I'm back,
Smith,
dog.
please, brother, please,
Yes,
for
sir.
sure, for sure.
We got,
Uh,
yep.
as we leave out this door, this virtual door, what jersey number you wearing?
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
That's a bet. That's a bet.
Stay
I'm
tuned.
out,
Stay
bro. I
tuned.
appreciate
Working
you,
on
dog.
something. Hey, I appreciate you, my guy. I appreciate all of everybody tuned in, being patient, waiting for us too, man, and helping us figure this thing out, man. T Stead is one of the realest individuals I know, not only in football, but in life, man. You know what I'm saying, y'all? I'm rocking with you always, my boy.
I
Much
appreciate
love
you,
and
brother.
success to
Love you,
you,
bro.
dog. Love you too,
For
bro.
real. Yes, sir.
All right, dog.